The 2026 FIFA World Cup, round of 32, Switzerland 2, Algeria 0. Switzerland defeating the Algerians in a clinical and controlled performance at the BC Place in Vancouver to make the round of 16. Highly anticipated knockout match that saw the Swiss team secure their first knockout stage victory in a World Cup in 88 years, since 1938. So, where do we begin here? The goals, of course. The 10th minute, Algeria, they open the match on the front foot, but Switzerland, they strike ruthlessly against the run of play. I gotta be real, the first 10 minutes of this game, Algeria was on the front foot. They were the ones who were taking it to the Swiss. And Switzerland were sitting back for a little bit, but Switzerland, at this stage in this competition, just being as clinical as they are with the experience they have, totally out of nowhere, they get a counterattack. They run down the far left flank. 20-year-old phenom Johan Manzambi. He embarks on a mazy direct run down the left channel, beating his defender, driving into the byline, and he sends an inch-perfect cross into the area that allows Brielle Mbolo to tap it into an empty net from close range. Just out of nowhere, it was a gut punch for the Algerians. And I gotta be honest with you, I've been very impressed with Johan Manzambi at this World Cup. I might make a video at the end of this tournament. 5 players that have impressed me the most at this tournament. Johan Manzambi, he's up there. Has been an absolute sensation, a menace with his pace and agility, his ability on the ball as well. 46th minute. Only 50 seconds into the second half, right away to start the second 45, a sloppy Algerian defensive turnover in their own third ends up proving costly because a failed clearance by Rafik Begali, it fell directly to Dan Ndoye on the edge of the box, who drills a low shot past diving goalkeeper Luka Zidane to double the lead. And from then on, Algeria had some chances going forward, just unable to penetrate. Switzerland laid on with an opportunity to really put the nail in the coffin and make this 3-0. This was kind of a mismatch from the beginning. A lot of folks felt that this game could potentially be 50-50. I did not believe that. This Algerian side is still rebuilding under Pekovic, and I think that they did right by themselves earlier this year, getting to the quarterfinals of AFCON, getting out of the group stages of this World Cup, giving us one of the most exciting second halves of the entire tournament, which was against Austria on the final match day in the groups. But Switzerland just have too much weapons. They have too many. They have too much quality. And Pekovic, some thought he's coming up against his former team. Pekovic coached Switzerland to the 2018 World Cup and to the European Championships after that. And would he have some insider information on these players? But yes, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. And historically speaking, managers very rarely beat their country of origin in international tournaments in head-to-head. I believe Pekovic is a Bosnian Swiss, if my memory serves me correct. Look out. Lanati, as they call themselves, Switzerland, they are emerging as a dark horse in this competition. We've been saying that for years now, right? Switzerland's a dark horse. They're going to go. Could this be the year that Switzerland goes on a little bit of a run? Look at the side of the bracket they're on. Coming up against the winner of Colombia-Ghana, that's a winnable game. Coming up against Argentina, who got taken to extra time by Cape Verde. You never know. I had Switzerland making the quarters in my pre-World Cup predictions, and now they're knocking on the door. They're one step away from that. So, match statistics. While Algeria dominated the ball in the early phases, Switzerland's tactical discipline and their counter-attacking efficiency ultimately decided the fixture. Expected goals, Switzerland had 2.52 XG. Algeria had only 0.73. So you can see why this game landed the way that it did ultimately. And look, it's a total difference in class. Switzerland outdid Algeria in almost every conceivable way. And Algeria were not able to keep the tempo, let alone even up the tempo, during those phases where they were looking threatening. So, a very lackluster ending to the tournament for the Fennec Foxes, but it's not a finish that they can look at in this World Cup and be ashamed of, even though it was a very poor performance last night from Algeria. Algerian fans massively outnumbered the Swiss at the stadium, by the way. And they had the crowd behind them. Then they just did nothing else. It's like they just kind of dithered. And when they lost the motivation and the momentum and the passion from the Algerian crowd after Monzambi setting Embolo up for that goal, the stadium got a little bit more quiet. So we'll see what Switzerland can do in the latter rounds. They got to aim for that quarterfinal berth. Last two European Championships, Switzerland finally broke through and won a knockout stage game. They made the quarterfinals in each of the last two editions. They got to push for quarters in a bloody World Cup. 2006, 2014, 2018, 2022. This has to be the year for Switzerland to really make a case for a run at least into the last 8. They have to do it. They owe it to themselves. Murat Yakin, he's still got a task ahead of him.